Did you know that some Maine Coons can keep growing until the age of 4? Imagine their adult size, heavier than many small dogs, and yet carrying the gentle heart of a companion who loves nothing more than being close to their humans. Today, I'm taking you into the Complete Maine Coon Guide 2025. And I won't just talk about the breed in general. I'll share my own experience with my 2 companions, Phœnix and Aïko. If you stay until the end, you'll hear about the 3 mistakes I made on my own journey with them, lessons that may save you time, stress, and energy if you ever decide to welcome a Maine Coon into your life. Let's begin with their origins. The Maine Coon comes from the northeastern United States, in the state of Maine. Their history is wrapped in legends. Some stories say that these cats were once owned by Marie Antoinette. When she tried to flee France during the Revolution, her belongings and her cats were supposedly shipped to America, where they became the ancestors of the Maine Coon. Another legend imagines that they are half raccoon thanks to their long bushy tails. Of course, that isn't possible scientifically, but the nickname coon stuck. The truth is a little simpler and perhaps more charming. They were farm cats, working companions valued for their strong build, sharp hunting skills, and affectionate but independent personality. Over time, their natural beauty and charm won people's hearts until they became one of the most beloved cat breeds in the world. At first sight, a Maine Coon is breathtaking. Their bodies are rectangular, long, and muscular, with a presence that is closer to a wild lynx than a house cat. Their ears are tall, with pointed tufts like little crowns, their tails long and bushy, like they belong in the snowy forests of the north. Each Maine Coon carries a kind of majesty. You don't just see them enter a room, you feel them. And yet, behind this wild look hides one of the sweetest personalities in the feline world. I knew I wanted a Maine Coon after living for 15 years with dogs. I loved the loyalty, the playfulness, and the presence of a dog at home. When I decided to adopt a cat, I didn't want to lose that feeling of constant companionship. I was looking for a breed that could give me the best of both worlds, the independence and elegance of a cat, but also the affection, intelligence, and sociability I had always found in dogs. And it was clear that the Maine Coon was that breed. My journey with Phœnix began with a challenge. I found her with a breeder nearly 700 kilometers from my home. That's a long drive for a first adoption, and I made the trip alone. I didn't realize how stressful such a journey could be for a kitten, especially one like Phœnix, who is naturally very sensitive and observant. She spent the whole trip nervous, meowing, hiding in her carrier. I stopped almost every hour to calm her down, speak softly to her, and give her breaks from the long road. Looking back, I know I should have asked more questions to the breeder before leaving, maybe even arranged for a meeting point closer to me. But at that time, I was too inexperienced to know better. Still, the moment I brought her home, everything felt worth it. She had this powerful presence, even as a tiny kitten. She would perch on high places, looking down at me like a little queen. Phœnix isn't the cuddliest cat, but her affection shows in subtle ways. When she chooses to sit near me or brush against my leg, it feels truly special, because I know it's her way of giving trust. A few months later, I realized that Maine Coons are very sociable cats, and it's often better for them to have a companion. That's when Aïko entered my life. He is a shaded cream male, a rare color that makes him look almost royal, like a cat out of a fairy tale. From the very first days, he showed me the other side of the Maine Coon personality, where Phœnix is independent and watchful. Aïko is clingy, playful, and affectionate. He begs for food with his big greenish eyes. He stretches out for cuddles at every opportunity. And when he plays, he throws himself fully into the moment. They are opposites in personality, but together, they make the perfect balance. Phœnix has become more relaxed since Aïko arrived, and Aïko has learned confidence from her. That bond is one of the most beautiful parts of living with two Maine Coons, watching them build their own relationship while sharing their world with me. Now let's talk about their size and appearance in more detail. Males often reach up to 9 kilograms, sometimes even more, while females are usually a little smaller but still far larger than an average cat. What makes them unique is not just their weight, but their structure. Maine Coons don't stop growing after 1 year like most cats. They continue to develop until they are 3, sometimes even 4 years old. Their legs grow longer, their chests broaden, their tails become thicker. They go from being long and awkward kittens to majestic adults who move with confidence and grace. This long growth means they need special care. Their diet has to be high in quality protein because their bodies need the energy to sustain that growth. Low-quality food can lead to poor development or health issues later. With Aïko, who is a real foodie, I have to be extra careful. He would happily eat all day if I let him, so I balance his meals to make sure he stays healthy and not overweight. Their coats are another wonder. Maine Coons are semi-long-haired cats with thick, silky fur that feels luxurious to touch. What fascinates me most is the variety of colors. There are more than 80 recognized patterns, from the classic brown tabby to silver, black, blue, red, smoke, and tortoiseshell like Phœnix. Every Maine Coon feels like a living artwork, a unique combination of colors and patterns that you will never see twice. But such beauty requires care. Their fur doesn't mat as easily as some long-haired breeds, but regular brushing is necessary, especially during the shedding seasons in spring and autumn. It becomes part of the bonding ritual, a way to keep their coat beautiful while spending quiet time together. Of course, with any large breed, there are health considerations. Maine Coons are generally strong and hardy, but they are prone to certain genetic conditions like hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, a heart disease that can be serious. That's why responsible breeders always test their cats, and why regular veterinary checkups are so important. Some owners choose pet insurance to prepare for unexpected costs, but I prefer another approach. Instead of paying monthly fees, I keep aside a fund just for my cats. That way, I know I can cover emergencies without worrying whether insurance will approve it or not. There's no single right answer. It depends on what gives you peace of mind. Life with Maine Coons is not only about size or health. What truly defines them is their personality. They are called gentle giants for a reason. Phœnix, for example, is not a cat that climbs into my lap every day. But she watches me closely. She sits near me, and when she decides to curl up by my side, it feels like a gift. Aïko, by contrast, is the exact opposite. He is the definition of a cuddle bug. He talks to me, follows me around the house, and even demands attention when I'm busy. Both personalities are equally beautiful because they show the range and depth of this breed's intelligence and emotional sensitivity. And it doesn't stop with humans. Maine Coons are known for their gentleness with children and even with dogs. Their sociability makes them one of the best breeds for families. They can adapt to new situations, meet new people, and find their place in a household without aggression. In many ways, they carry the heart of a dog inside the body of a cat, and that is why I fell in love with them. Of course, adopting a Maine Coon is not just about love. It is also an investment. In 2025, the average price from a responsible breeder is between $1,200 and $2,500, sometimes more for rare colors or pedigrees. It may sound expensive, but remember, this is a companion who will share your life for 12 to 15 years, sometimes longer. Adoption is possible too, though rarer, because Maine Coons are so popular. Whether you adopt or buy, The most important thing is to choose a breeder or shelter that raises cats in a healthy environment with proper health testing and care. Living with Phœnix and Aïko has taught me more than I could have imagined. They've shown me patience, responsibility, and the joy of true companionship. And they've also taught me through mistakes. As promised, let me share the 3 errors I made so you don't have to repeat them. First, I didn't ask enough questions to the breeder when I adopted Phœnix. That left me unprepared for the long journey and her specific needs. Second, I underestimated how stressful a 700-kilometer trip would be for a kitten. I should have planned better, with stops, calming strategies, or even alternative solutions with the breeder. Third, when I adopted Aïko, I didn't fully anticipate how different his personality would be from Phœnix. He needed more attention, more cuddles, and more playtime than I expected. None of these mistakes were catastrophic, but they were lessons that shaped me as a cat parent. And now I'd love to hear from you. Are your cats more independent like Phœnix or clingy like Aïko? Share your stories in the comments. I'd love to know. And if you'd like me to create a future video just about Maine Coon secrets, funny behaviors, and characteristics that people don't often talk about, let me know. There's so much more to say about this extraordinary breed. Until then, thank you for joining me in this Complete Maine Coon Guide 2025, and I'll see you in the next video. Are you Team Phœnix or Team Aïko?